Supreme Week 4 will be dropping September 17th. Like this video and subscribe for more resale predictions and drop lists. Alright, first up we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto logo tee. These are going to retail for $54 and resell for around $90. This definitely is a good hold, and I think it's a pretty good looking item as well. It's just a really simple Supreme tee, and it's just got a lot of it's just simple, and a lot of people will like this. So price on these will be pretty good, around $90 to $100. Really just depends on the size and the color you get. I would assume that the black colorway would do a lot better than the white colorway. But either way, both colorways will do pretty good for this. And you will be easily able to make like $20 to $30 per shirt you get. Although the margins aren't that good, just because retail is so high on these, you can still make a good amount of money per shirt. Next up, we got the Supreme Pipe Wrench. These are going to retail for $60 and resell for around $100. This is just another weird Supreme accessories, and I still think a lot of people want these, especially all those Supreme hypebeasts on Instagram that just like to do random stuff with these accessories, like Eric Whitebeck and all them. So I definitely think these will resell for $20 to $30 per wrench you get, but it's really not going to have that much value in holding, just because I don't really think these will get any higher than $120, even if you hold for a couple years, because Supreme accessories usually go down in value, but it still is a good item to make some profit on. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Crewneck. These will retail for $168 and resell for around $225. There definitely is some money to be made on these, but I don't think it'll be that much, just because retail is so high, and because Supreme has gotten rid of shipping on orders over $150 and now it's orders over $200, so you won't be getting free shipping on these if you do single cart. So I don't see that much resale, but I definitely see that you can probably make $30 to $40 per crew neck you get, and it definitely does have some holding potential. I could see these going up to $275 or $280 by Christmas time, just because it's a really clean shirt, especially in the black colorway. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Wolf Tee. These are going to retail for $54 and resell for around $90. This definitely is one of the better items to go for, just because these wolf tees should do pretty good, just because they got the little Supreme logo on the bottom. And I think it's a pretty cool design, especially in the black colorway. The white super stands out, and it looks like a nice shirt, and you don't have to be, flexing your Supreme like a lot of these other shirts you do. So I definitely think it is a good item, and I definitely think you can make $10 to $20 per shirt on these drop day, and probably even more if you hold them just a couple months. The Supreme Yohji Yamamoto New Era Beanie will be retailing for $40 and reselling for around $70. This is a great hold in my opinion. I think the black colorway could be just a really good hold into the future. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits $100 by December and January time, just because that's when beanies prices usually spike, and this is a pretty good looking beanie, especially in the black colorway. So I think a lot of people want these for themselves, especially for the winter time. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Sweater. These are going to retail for $198 and resell for around $250. These really are kind of stuck with the retail's a little bit too high, and it's just not just sticking the Supreme logo on a sweater, so these aren't going to resell for that much. Of course they will resell for some, but I don't even really see that much hold potential for these, so I would stay away from these just because of the high retail and the pretty low resale value. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto This Was Tomorrow Tee. These are going to be retailing for $54 and reselling for around $85. I don't really see these as good of an item as the other two tees, but I definitely see these as reselling pretty good and being a pretty good hold item. Although, even if you hold them for a couple months, they really won't gain that much value, maybe $10 to $20, which definitely will help your margins though. Either way, this is a good item to get, and you should definitely be able to make some money on these. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Down Jacket. These are going to retail for $298 and resell for around $425. I definitely think this is a really good item to get, just because usually the Supreme outerwear items do really good, at least for the prices they're at. So $200 or $300 for these, put in taxes, it's $330. These will easily resell for $425. I wouldn't be surprised if the black and the white ones go for $500 in certain sizes. So I definitely see a lot of profit being able to be made on these, but these really are a seasonal item, so I would try to sell this winter, if not hold until next winter, just because prices really fluctuate by season. Next up, we have the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Scribble Tee, Scribble Portrait Tee. These are going to retail for $54, just like all the other tees in this drop, and resell for around $85. There definitely is money to be made on this colorway or this logo as well, but there's not going to be that much. There still is money to be made, like $10 to $20 off the jump, but it's not going to be as much as some of the other ones just because this design isn't as good as some of them. But definitely is still a good hold item. I wouldn't be surprised if I see $100 to $120 by like the end of the season this year, but it still is a good item to go for. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Game Over Tee. These are going to retail for $54 as well and resell for around the similar price of $85. This is also a collaboration with Peter Saville, who's also pretty good known like graphic design guy. And I think this will definitely be a good selling tee. There's not actually any Supreme logo on it, which kind of, takes it down a little bit. But it still is a good tee to get, and I still think a lot of people want this just because it is such a big collaboration between Yohji Yamamoto, Peter Saville, and Supreme. So these will have pretty good hold potential as well, I would assume. Next up, we got the GORE-TEX S Logo 6-panel. These will retail for $54, resell for around $80. This is definitely a pretty good item to go for, especially in a multi-cart with like the beanie and maybe a tee, just because it will have some pretty good resale potential, just because these hats normally do, and these are a really clean, it's really clean hat, so I think a lot of people want these, and it just has pretty good resale potential off the jump, and it should have some pretty good hold potential as well. Next up, we got the Supreme Clear Label Beanie. These will retail for $36, resell for around $65. This is an even better item to go for than the S Logo 6-panel, just because beanies usually do spike during December time. I wouldn't be surprised if these hit $100 by December and January and even February. So I would 100% go for these just because it's a great item to hold, and retail is so low on these, so in a multi-cart, it'll be basically just the retail value instead of like shipping and all that. So it's going to be an amazing item to go for and hold. Next up, we got the Supreme GORE-TEX Crusher. These will retail for $60 and resell for around $80. Although these probably are a pretty good item to flip. Usually they don't have many like bids. There's not much volume of these that sell. So if you are like buying or selling these, you could either get a really good price or it could just be a really trash price, just because other people could be undercutting you. So it really is like a hit or miss item. I wouldn't be surprised if these do miss, but in certain colorways, I definitely think they could sell for like $100, probably in like the black colorway, in the cream colorway, and the purple colorway. Those all look like the best colorways. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Sweatshirt. These are going to retail for $198, which kind of kills any resell on them, and they'll probably resell for around $225, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. I just think this kind of got screwed over just because it's an all-over print, which also raised the retail value, and Supreme sweatshirts usually are super expensive to start with, so they kind of ruined the resell on this one, but it definitely is kind of like the cool, weird personal piece, so it is going to be like an interesting personal as well. Next up, we got the Supreme Scatter Logo long sleeve top. These will retail for $78 and resell for around $95. Although I wouldn't be surprised if some hit like $120 or so, just in certain colorways and certain sizes like XL and small, just because I feel like this is a pretty good item, and retail is semi-low on like a long sleeve top like this, so I wouldn't be surprised, if certain colorways do pretty good for resale, but I would say the vast majority are probably going to break. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Parka. These will retail for $288 and resell for around $330. This could have been a good item, but the retail is just way too high, and it's more of like a situational item. Like I don't think a lot of people just wear parkas out every time. Like you can kind of wear a down jacket out a lot, and you can wear like a sweater and all that type of stuff out a lot. This is super situational item. It's like you kind of has to rain, but it's just kind of a weird item to have, and prices are so high, so I don't really see that much resell on this either, although it does have a kind of cool Sanchito design on the front. Next up, we got the Supreme Denim Painter Pant. These will retail for $168, resell for around $180. I think this is an interesting item to go for, and I don't think it'll resell or even be that great of a personal, just because people don't really like Supreme pants unless they are like a collaboration item, and these aren't a collaboration item. These are just some regular Supreme denim painter pants, so they're also like not that good of a personal either. Next up, we got the Supreme short sleeve pocket tee. These are going to retail for $60 and resell for around $70. At least on this one, there's no like actual Supreme branding on the tee, so I don't think it'll do that well. But some of the other ones might have it, and it's like I don't really know. I also don't see the pocket on this one, so maybe it's just this one that doesn't have like the pocket thing. But either way, it's not going to resell for that much, just because a lot of people don't like this, and I don't think almost anyone ever buys Supreme pocket tees, especially at a retail of $60. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto shirt. These are going to retail for $178, resell for around $185. These are just kind of screwed just because the retail is so high. I think these should have retailed at around, $128, just because I feel like that'd be a lot more reasonable of a price. I think a lot more people would try to resell at that price. But at a retail of $178, I don't think anyone's trying to get these, and I just don't think it'll resell for that much. Next up, we have the Supreme Stripe Applique short sleeve top. These are going to retail for $88 and resell for around $90. These could have been a really good item, especially if the retail was a lot lower. If this was just a regular tee, I actually wouldn't be surprised if these go for like $70 on a $38 retail. But just because they are a short sleeve top, it kind of just ruins the whole price of these. So they're only going to go for like $2 or $3 over retail, and it's not going to be really worth it to buy these. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto leatherwork jacket. These are going to retail for $1,298 and resell for around $1,300. This is just not a good item to go for, because all of these super expensive jackets just never resell for anything, just because the retail prices are so much higher than all the other Supreme items. And like I could reasonably see someone paying like $1,200 or like $1,400 for these, but not much more over the actual retail price. Next up, we got the Supreme Best of the Best hooded sweatshirt. These are going to retail for $158 and resell for around $165. It's not that great of a logo. Retail price is way too high, and it's just a not good personal either. So these all combine to something that not a lot of people want, and it's not going to resell for anything. So it's really not the best Supreme hoodie you could get, so I'd probably stay away from these. Next up, we got the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto Suit. These are going to retail for $898 and resell for around $875. Although this does look pretty cool, and I feel like a lot of people, want to wear it to like their homecoming or prom, I don't feel like they'll even resell for the price of the retail, just because it's not the greatest item and it feels like it's super overpriced. Usually Supreme suits are like $500, $600, not this much. And these are just like way more than the average price, so I feel like they won't resell for that much either. Next up, we got the Supreme Fair Isle Beanie. These will retail for $36 and resell for around $50. There definitely should be some resale value on these just because they are so low retail price, but it's really just an in-person item, so like if you can get them in person, you can definitely make like $10 on day one, but there's really not going to be that much resale value in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if these do hit like $60, $70 during December, January, February time, but they're not going to do that well right now. But this whole drop is really good. I feel like it's got like Supreme Week 1. It's like a little bit behind that in terms of like good items to resell, just because there's a ton of items that definitely will resell for a ton of money. If you guys do want to join my Discord, there is a link in the description. We got a ton of stuff in there. We got slots, we got monitors for Shopify, and we just got a bunch of people that can help you out with anything reselling, and we got a ton of good people in there. It's a great community. I would 100% suggest you joining it.